So students, we continue our discussion on the chemical equilibria. So we have come to the lecture number 5 and we have been in the midst of the discussion of law of mass action and equilibrium constant. Now last time what we had done is this equation, that is equilibrium constant Kc, C raised to C, d raised to d upon a raised to a into b raised to b, where small a, small b, small c and small d are the values which are used for balancing the chemical equation, isn't it? And on this basis we have said the statement of law of equilibrium, that at a given temperature the ratio of product of equilibrium concentration of the products to that of the reactants with each concentration term raised to the power equal to the respective stoichiometric coefficient, that is small a, small b, small c and small d, in the balanced chemical equation has a constant value. So this is what we had done last time. So this time we will begin our discussion with a small thing which is known as reaction quotient, So I am writing here, you have to know the term reaction quotient, Q U O, Q U O T I E N T, reaction quotient. Reaction quotient is denoted by QC. Reaction quotient is denoted by QC. Now what is it? You have to be very clear about it. Suppose a chemical reaction is taking place where A number of A and B number of B are giving me C number of C and D number of D, and the reaction is at equilibrium. Now when the reaction is proceeding, okay, at any given state, if I take the concentration of C raised to C, D raised to D upon A raised to A into B raised to B, this ratio at any given instant of the reaction will be known as reaction quotient, or it is also known as concentration quotient, and it will be denoted by QC. Now you will tell me, sir, Kc also looks like this. Yes, this is valid at any given instant of the reaction. But suppose the reaction has proceeded and then the equilibrium is achieved. When the equilibrium is achieved, that is at equilibrium, the same ratio of the concentration of products to the concentration of reactants raised to the suitable stoichiometric coefficients, that time this C raised to C into D raised to D upon A raised to A into B raised to B. Now this ratio, then this will be known as equilibrium constant. So they look to be the same, but they are not the same. What is the difference? When I start this reaction and when the reaction is proceeding at any given instant, the ratio of the concentration of products to the concentration of reactants will be called as reaction quotient. But when the reaction is achieved the equilibrium, at that time these concentration will be called as equilibrium concentration, and that time that same ratio will be called as what? Kc. So what happens is, in the beginning you will find concentration of A and B will be more and concentration of C and D will be less, and that means value of QC will be less, and the value of QC will go on increasing. Ultimately at equilibrium it will become a fixed value, and when at equilibrium it becomes a fixed value, then it is called as equilibrium constant. That's the difference. That means QC can can keep on changing depending upon at what instant you have considered, but Kc will have a fixed value at a given temperature because you are talking it only at when the equilibrium is achieved. All right, so this is one thing that you should know. Now what I am coming to is the equilibrium constant in gaseous system. Equilibrium constant in gaseous system, when the reaction is involving all the reactants and products in the gaseous state. So I come to the equilibrium constant. I am writing equilibrium as EQM, equilibrium constant in gaseous system, and this is denoted not by Kp but not by Kc, but it is denoted by Kp. So K is the equilibrium constant and subscript P means the all the concentration terms are in terms of the partial pressure of the gas. Now what is partial pressure? I will tell you. And we also get a relationship between Kc and Kp. Okay, children. So this is what we will be discussing. Now before I get into it, I will be using the term partial pressure. So let me tell you what is partial pressure. Partial pressure is the individual pressure of a gas in a mixture. Suppose I have got a container. Now in this container I have got oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide. Okay. Now let's say the total pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure. The total pressure of the gas is 1 atmospheric pressure. But 1 atmospheric pressure is contributed by oxygen individually, hydrogen and carbon dioxide. Let's say oxygen pressure is equal to 0.3, hydrogen is equal to 0.3 and carbon dioxide is 0.4. That is how the total pressure will be 1 atmospheric pressure. Now when I am talking about individual pressure of oxygen, then it will be called as partial pressure of oxygen. When I talk about individual pressure of hydrogen, it will be called as partial pressure of hydrogen. And when I talk about individual pressure of carbon dioxide, there will be partial pressure of carbon dioxide, and total pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure. So if I ask you what is the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, you will say 0.4 atmospheric pressure. What is the partial pressure of oxygen? You will say 0.3 atmospheric pressure. So I hope you got the idea. Partial pressure means the pressure of an individual gas in a mixture of various gases. All right. So we will be expressing the equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure, that is individual pressure of the gases. So what I do is I consider a chemical reaction at equilibrium in which all the reactants and products are in the gaseous state. I repeat, I consider a chemical reaction at equilibrium in which all the reactants and products are in gaseous state. So let us say the reaction is A number of A in the gaseous state are reacting with B number of B in the gaseous state, and they are in equilibrium with C number of C in the gaseous state and D number of D in the gaseous state, and there is an equilibrium like this. All right. Now I apply law of mass action. So applying law of mass action, so what I will be getting, I will have to take their partial pressure. So I will use the notation Kp. So Kp will be equal to partial pressure of C into partial pressure of D upon partial pressure of A into partial pressure of B. So I will write the partial pressure of C raised to C, partial pressure of D raised to D, CD, the small c, small d, they are all the numbers which I have used to balance the equation. Am I right? So then partial pressure of A raised to small a and partial pressure of B raised to small b. I hope you are okay with this. So this is what is the value of Kp. Now we will talk about the pressure. So I bring the next thing, that is ideal gas equation. In ideal gas equation, what I get, PV is equal to nRT. This you have done in states of matter. The ideal gas equation is equal to PV is equal to nRT, where P is the pressure of the gas, V is the volume of the gas, N is the number of moles of gas, R is the gas constant, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. Therefore, P is equal to nRT upon V. If this is what it is, now I have to rub it off. I hope you can keep in mind what I have written here. So what is the next thing I do is I say that for A, now if P is equal to nRT upon V, then for A I can say PA is equal to NA into RT upon V. PA is the partial pressure of A, Na is the number of moles of A which is there in this container, R is the gas constant, T is the temperature, and V is the volume of the gas, and they all are present in the same container, and therefore all A, B, C, D, they all are there in this. Whether you talk about A or B or C or D, they all are in the same container as reactants and products, so their volume will be the same. So for A it will be PA is equal to NART upon V. Then similarly for B, PB will be is equal to NBRT upon V. Now for C, so you will say PC is equal to NCRT upon V, and for D, PD is equal to NDRT upon V. I hope you are clear about it. Now you may be thinking everywhere the RT and V are the same. Now the reason is R is a gas constant, so it will be always constant. T is the temperature. You are carrying out this reaction at a given temperature, so for all of them temperature value will be the same, and V is same for all because they all are present in the same container, so they are all enjoying the same volume. So if this is the case, then I will substitute these values in this equation. So by substituting the values, so what I get, Kp is equal to, now you can say that in P instead of PC, so I will not yet substitute this PC raised to C. Now coming to the next one small thing, that is number of moles upon volume, N upon V is the molar concentration. Number of moles upon V is molar concentration. How we say molar concentration? We say that 2 moles per liter, 3 moles per liter. So it is the number of moles per unit volume of the volume represents the molar concentration. So therefore I can say that PA is equal to Na upon V is the molar concentration of A. So it will be molar concentration of A into RT. PB in the same manner, NB upon V will be molar concentration of B into RT. PC will be molar concentration of C into RT, and PD will be molar concentration of D into RT. So if this is what I get, now I will substitute in this equation which I have written. So substituting these values, the values in the equation. The original equation was Kp is equal to, if you recollect, what I had written is C raised to C, partial pressure of C raised to C into partial pressure of D raised to D upon partial pressure of A raised to A into partial pressure of B raised to B. This is what it was. So now all these values will be substituted by this. So instead of PC, what I will write, instead of PC I will write C into RT, the whole value raised to C. Then for D I will write molar concentration of D into molar concentration of D into RT, whole thing raised to D. Then for A, molar concentration of A RT, the whole thing raised to A. And for B, molar concentration of B, molar concentration of B into RT raised to B. This is what I will write. Am I right? So I have substituted the partial pressure values and written the equation. Now that will become what? Now this will become C raised to C, C raised to C, D raised to D, molar concentration D raised to D into RT raised to C plus D, C plus D upon, similarly over here, A raised to A into B raised to B into RT raised to A plus B. Correct? Now this you can also write it like this, that is C raised to C, C raised to C into D raised to D upon A raised to A into B raised to B into, you can write RT raised to C plus D minus A plus B. This equation if you write, it will be ultimately become RT raised to C plus D minus A plus B. Now what I can say, I will again rub off from here, I'll rub off from here and continue this. So I can say that A plus B, that now C, sorry, let me get a proper pen. C plus D is equal to N2, that is total number of moles of gaseous product, and A plus B I can write it as N1, that is total number of moles of gaseous reactants. So therefore what I can write this equation as Kp is equal to C raised to C, molar concentration of C raised to C, molar concentration of D raised to D upon molar concentration of A raised to A into molar concentration of B raised to B into RT raised to N2 minus N1, N2 minus N1, N2 minus N1 I can write it as delta N. So therefore this will become molar concentration of C raised to C into molar concentration of D raised to D upon molar concentration of A raised to A into molar concentration of B raised to B into RT raised to delta N. Now children, if you recollect, if I write this in terms of molar concentration, then this stands for Kc. So therefore I think I can write Kp is equal to, this entire thing I can represent as Kc. So Kc into RT raised to delta N. So this is what is the relationship between Kp and Kc. Is it okay? So that is what is the equilibrium constant in a gaseous system, where I have taken everything in terms of partial pressure of the reactants and partial pressure of the products. And in this you must know the terms. If some you have to write after writing all this. So what are the terms? You will say the terms are right like this. The terms Kp is equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure. Okay, what is Kc? Kc is the equilibrium constant in terms of molar concentration. R is the gas constant, I am writing in short, Gc. T is temperature in Kelvin, and delta N is equal to N2 minus N1. What is N2? N2 is the number of moles of gaseous product, and N1 is the number of moles of gaseous reactants. And remember one thing, when you solve the problems, you will be counting only the gaseous products and gaseous reactants. If there is anything in a form of solid or liquid, then that you will not be considering. Is it okay with you? So that is all as far as the equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, which you have done in the previous video, and now in terms of partial pressure, which you have done just now, and you have got their relationship. Now there is one thing people ask, that what will be the unit of Kc or Kp. So I am coming to the unit. So when you write the unit of Kc, or mostly Kc or Kp, so I can tell you that it all depends upon all the concentration terms that have come in the picture. All right, if you are talking about a Kp, so it will be concentration terms plus then into the unit of R, unit of T, raised to the value of delta N. But it is a very complicated thing. So what we do is, we generally don't use the unit of Kp or Kc. Is it okay with you? So basically most of the time you can say the unit is moles per dm³ raised to delta N, but normally we don't use the unit. So generally you can say we do not use the unit of Kc or Kp. So that is, if you remember that, that's fair enough. All right, so that's it for the timing. Now we'll continue this discussion, and in the next video we'll be talking about the characteristics of equilibrium constant. Is it okay, children? So thank you, thanks a lot, God bless you.